straight out of the T-Dot.
That's what it is.
Live from the 6 boroughs.
Don't go nowhere.
For sure. Welcome to Standing in the 6 with your hosts Michael and Constantine.
And Miguel Anthony, live.
Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to a brand new edition of Standing in the 6. Very, very excited today. We have the man, the myth, the legend.
Alx Veliz.
Alx Veliz, yes. Alx Veliz, thank you so much for coming down, bro.
Thank you.
First of all, I want to just say before we let Miguel do his beautiful intros, congratulations on your new little one.
Thank you so much.
I don't know the gender, boy or girl.
It's a boy. His name is Jackson.
Jackson
That's
Alexander.
the name
of my nephew. Very
nice.
My brother named him Jackson because of Sons of Anarchy.
That's funny. People have been telling me that too. Like, it's one of my favorite shows, anyways. But we named him Jackson because. Is that me? No. We named him Jackson.
You got it out early.
Yeah, exactly.
Once per show.
What? Yeah. We call him Jackson because my wife's name is Jessica.
Okay.
My name is Max.
Okay.
My first name is Max. So then, even in our wedding and everything, like our theme for the wedding was Jax, like our Wi-Fi password. It's like a Jax family. Like we've always been Jax.
Yes.
So and because it was a boy, we just said Jax, son.
Yes.
The son of Jax.
That's nice. That's nice, man. That's really nice. Well, thank you so much for coming down to the show. Miguel, audition number 2 for you right now. Why don't you just give us a little bit of background?
Come on,
of
bro.
Who Alx is, because
Come on, bro.
This will be a true testament of how good of a
Yeah,
friend this
exactly.
guy is.
That's why I'm excited.
Who is this man, bro?
Who
is he?
am I?
No, we shared beds together. Actually, we didn't. I kept sleeping on the couch. He's like, bro, you come in the bed. Remember?
I remember, bro.
In Colombia.
In Colombia.
So Alx Veliz is a singer, songwriter, and he's dope, man. He's released a new song. That's a big tune, a big summertime jam. He had some major success. Was previously with Universal Music.
Yeah.
Had a smash hit, Dancing Kizomba, back in the day. I have a question. Sorry, I have a question.
Go ahead.
Is that okay?
It is.
Is that good?
I'll tell you, as I'm looking at you, I can see your head is blocking my wonderful face. Can I just ask? Yeah, there you go.
Mike
not,
already
not,
coached
not
me
too
on
much.
this.
There you go. Okay, perfect. Go ahead, man.
Is that good? Is it? What else,
Yeah, you're
man?
good now.
He's a father, a husband.
There you go.
And a good
What
friend.
was the question you were gonna ask?
Yeah,
bro?
what was it?
I was gonna ask you this because I was talking with our Dominican boy Medilandia the other day.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. I'm gonna ask him this too. It's loaded, bro.
Go ahead,
But you're good on your toes.
Yeah. Dog.
Is there an Alx Veliz without Medilandia? And is there a Medilandia without Alx Veliz?
No, there isn't. We go hand in hand.
I like that.
There's funny enough you say that because yesterday he came over to the house at night. He came over last night. We had a long conversation.
Wow.
And
so Medi is the one who produced their platinum song, Dancing Kizomba.
Yes.
And we're very transparent people. We have fallen outs, you know what I mean? And there was a lot, like I guess you could say like a lot of beef and stuff between us to a certain point. But deep down inside, we both know and we knew there is no chemistry like the one we have. Like yesterday, I told him, I'm not a cocky guy. And I'm like, but I told him, like, honestly, there is nobody here that can make the type of music that we make together. I'm telling you, like, I went to the studio with him last week. And, for example, I will record a song. And it will take me maybe a week to get everything mixed properly and everything, like, get the beat done, everything by myself. With Medi, it takes me 2 hours.
Wow.
I go in. Machine.
By the time I get out of the booth, he has everything mixed already. Like that. And like he knows, like when we work together, is his production with my songwriting and then our melodies together. So there is no Medilandia without Alx Veliz. There's no Alx Veliz without Medilandia.
He's just so Dominican.
Yeah, I know. Dominican time, bro.
You know, when you get in the studio with Medi, you have to actually Mike's had an experience, not with Medi, but all of Medi's. Like you need to factor in like if you need an 8-hour session, you need to factor in 10 hours.
Yeah,
okay.
Because you need
LCBO run.
You need LCBO run.
Smoke breaks.
Smoke breaks. Like
yeah. That's how it is.
Spontaneous dancing.
Exactly.
So that's who Alx is, bro.
Okay, so Alx, like, was music something that you always wanted to jump into?
Always. since I was a kid. Like that was my end all be all. My cousin gave me the Michael Jackson vinyl.
Yes.
I learned that the dance moves, everything, and I'm like, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. You know, I grew up in a very musical family. From my mom's side, I have uncles that are like conductors of the National Orchestra of Guatemala. I have other uncles that are like known poets. I have cousins that they are artists themselves. So it was in my blood, you know, and I grew up listening to Bob Marley, Michael Jackson, Juan Luis Guerra. I had such a variety mix of different music that I was listening to that I think all of that formed my sound nowadays, and it was always music. Like that was, like I said, end all be all. I went to school to satisfy my parents, but I told them straight up, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna get this, you know, degree for you guys, but other than that, like, I'm gonna do music for the rest of my life.
What was that degree?
General arts and science.
Exactly. Yeah. I took business.
See, mom, it's a bit of arts, a bit of science.
Exactly. There you go. I did business management and marketing.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah,
Which you can use in your music career. So
exactly. Been
wasn't
using
it?
it.
So
Yeah.
what was the turning point for you where it became serious? Like this is something I'm gonna make this happen.
Funny enough, I took it serious since I was 16. Well, at 16 years old, I took it seriously. And
So why don't you give them? I know this obviously, but why don't you give them like your trajectory real quick? Because you were part.
my trajectory from like from the beginning, or like,
Yeah,
'cause that's a long ass.
Just boom, 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 man.
So I grew up in a Christian home at the age of like.
Hallelujah.
There you go. Come on, preach that. And at the age of 12, I was leading the worship band of my church and everything like that. At the age of 16,
Bless your
I started
heart.
doing hip hop, Christian hip hop.
Uh-oh.
Back in the day,
The
when
devil's music.
it wasn't like you're not allowed to do that in church and everything and all that. But at the age of 16, I ended up just making Christian hip hop, doing all that stuff. I ended up moving to Miami for like 2 years. I released a couple Christian albums, and then I toured Latin America for various years as a
What year
Christian
was
artist.
this? What year was this when you were doing this Christian hip hop?
Oh man, I want to say like between 2002 and 2008.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Because
all
there was
those
a
years-
time when Christian hip hop was actually really in. Like, you know.
Oh
what I mean?
yeah, that was the like it was the time when it was getting there.
Yes.
You know, there was
Yeah.
no craze, or there wasn't like these
Yes.
big,
No,
yeah.
Shackles isn't hip hop.
Yeah. You know, so that's when the Shackles, exactly.
Yeah.
That's when I was doing it. You know what I mean? The
Yeah.
Kirk Franklin days.
That's-
there you
that's
go.
right, yes,
You know.
yes.
And then
But it was you and a guy. It was a
it
duo.
was me and this other guy. And then from there I stopped doing music for a while.
Yes.
But he skipped through it. You had some major success with that.
Oh yeah, like
Like he was touring all over.
I
He was
toured
at
all Latin
churches
America.
and stuff?
Yeah, exactly. And funny enough, a lot of this is I guess what formed my character, because the number one like haters, I guess you could say, or people that rejected me were the churches. So what ended up happening was all these churches closed their doors, but then you would have big time secular artists, quote unquote secular artists, like Sinai Lennox back in the day, Chrissy Angel, Monchi Alexandra, like big Latin secular artists that would sell out arenas. They would come here, and we were the opening act as a Christian band. Like not like because our music, I always tell people, like, I never wanted to make Christian music. I wanted to make music that had like Christ-filled messages, like
Yes.
very positive messages. So because of that, people just vibed with the music, whether it was Christian or not.
So the world received you, but the church cast
exactly,
you out.
yeah, exactly. There
Yes.
you go.
So are you a Christian rapper?
Yes.
So the thing is, it's like it literally molded who I am, right?
Yes.
Like nowadays, like, you know, I have my identity like firm. I know who I am and what I do. But because of that, like, it's funny enough, I stopped doing music for a while. So that's why when you said
Because
like
of that experience.
yeah, because of that experience and my whole experience within like the church realm and everything, and a lot of personal stuff happened. So I just stopped doing music as a whole. And that's why when you said like, oh, when was it that you took it serious?
Yeah, man.
Actually, when everything happened for me was when I wasn't taking it serious, because I had given up 100%. And
Then the meeting. Then the meeting happened.
exactly. So then I had a meeting with a couple of friends, and you know, the friends were like,
They basically had an intervention.
yeah.
Should we just have Alex out of the room and just talk to him?
I'm pushing it along. I'm pushing it along.
Yeah,
because
exactly. I know.
we-
That's why I'm like, yo, everything. So I had a meeting with
I'm just pushing it along.
I had a
Because
meeting with a couple
you
friends.
said this will take a long time.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I'm keeping it.
Okay.
So then
So there was an
I had-
intervention.
with the intervention with some friends, and they're like, you know, you should really be doing music and everything. I'm like, nah, I don't really want to do that anymore. They're like, you know, just give it a last push and whatever. And that's when I met Mehdi. right? We basically, I told him like, if we're gonna do music again, I need to work with a producer because I produce all my own stuff. But I'm like, this time around, I just want to be an artist. And then coincidentally, I'm like, they're like, oh, so who would you want to work with? I'm like, Mehdi. Mehdi was from Montreal. So then coincidentally, he was in Toronto. He had just moved like maybe 2 weeks before that conversation, and he was looking to make music here. So that's when Mehdi and I started working together, and we did everything, and we had the chemistry, and boom. But we were just doing it. I was at that point still doing it as a hobby. But this is how God works. Because when I was doing Christian music, there was a guy in Miami that I did a concert over there. And as soon as I got off stage, he's like, man, I really want to manage you. And he's like, oh, who have you managed? And he's like, nobody, you'll be my first artist. And I'm like, bro, I need some more experience. Fast forward.
Time frame. When was that?
That was, I want to say like 2004, maybe.
And his name is Miguel.
And then fast forward, and like 10 years later, or somewhat change after, and he was like the guy in the music industry. He had signed big time producers, songwriters, and everything. He had like records on the radio. Kesha, Jason Derulo, everybody was going through him. So I saw he was in Toronto, and I'm like, hey, bro, what's going on? Let's meet up now. He was at the Junos, and we met up. And then he's like, you know, hey, by the way, are you still making music? And I'm like, yeah, I do it as a hobby here and there. And then I showed him Dancing Kizomba, and I showed him all this stuff. And he looked at me and said, bro, you're supposed to be an artist. What are you doing? And I'm like, you know, I tried it. I don't really want to get my hopes up anymore and everything. And he's like, yo, just give me a month. And I'm like, why? And he's like, I just got hired to be the head A&R at Universal. And I'm supposed to develop international acts that can do 2 languages.
Oh, wow.
There you go.
Wow.
And then literally like 2 weeks later, everything that. Wow.
Just from that.
We dropped Dancing Kizomba a few weeks later. Not even a few weeks. Like 7 days later, it had like millions and millions of streams. And then it just skyrocketed.
Wow. That's an amazing story.
That is,
Yeah.
man.
And how long did it take you to cook Dancing Kizomba?
Bro, like 5 hours?
Really?
A one session thing.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So for anybody out there that has spent years writing something right now, you're doing it wrong.
it literally comes down to chemistry, man. It does, because like I got another one in the bag right now. That's why I went to the studio with Mehdi last week, because I have one in the, and that one just comes out like when you know. Like I don't know. I knew it. We started doing Dancing Kizomba, and halfway through we actually made that song for another artist. And halfway through I looked at Mehdi and I'm like, I'm keeping this song. This song is gonna go far.
So what's your inspiration? Like where do you pull from to kind of get into your groove to write?
Oh man, so many different elements, I guess. Honestly, I think growing up in Toronto and in the multicultural scene, you know, and having, you know, so many different friends from different parts of the world, one of the main things with me, I love pushing the envelope. I love doing things that haven't been done before. So, you know, exploring new sounds, whether it's like the Afro
fusion.
vibe, like fusions and everything like that, you know. So I pull a lot from that. Like I love listening to music and seeing what's out there and seeing what not necessarily is popular, but what I feel this is the next wave. And I love listening to that. But more than anything, when it comes down to me writing, it's just a good time, man. I always like making music that's very like love driven, but at the same time that's gonna, you know, give you a good time, and that you can, you know, just at a barbecue you can, you know, dance with your loved
Just
ones.
vibe,
And that's it.
just
Yeah,
vibe.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I love to do. I love putting like a smile on people's face. That's my motivation behind my music always.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good, bro.
Nice.
I know we're gonna have some time later on today to hear some of this beautiful music.
Yeah.
Is that, I know Mike is the brains right now with a
We
lot
can
of
do
this.
it. We'll do it. I think we'll
Yeah.
do what we said. We'll just maybe scoot the keys in here and just do it like this.
Okay.
If you're
Okay.
down.
Oh, who's gonna play the keys?
I'll play it.
Yo, man, is that key? Yo,
Oh.
yo, this is Scott Storch, fam.
So what a lot of people don't know about Mike, and you know, Mike is one of those guys that just kind of he hides behind the sunglasses, but they're actually prescription. Mike is a very gifted pianist. Okay,
a what?
a very gifted pianist.
Can you?
Big
Why do you
up.
have to say that word?
Why?
There's certain words you don't say, and
What
that's
do you
one
mean?
of them.
So what would you like me to say? Piano player.
Piano player.
That doesn't sound
Pi-
nice. It's like what do they
Pianist?
call the horse riders? Equestrians.
Equestrian.
Yeah, that to me is.
Yeah.
really-
But anyways,
Yeah.
he's Mike Storch.
Oh, I like that.
I'm trying to line a session up with you.
And he brought a
then.
djembe. Miguel brought a djembe.
Yo, we're
with
gonna
him,
cook. We're
so-
gonna vibe right
Let's do
here.
it.
So
we'll
Alex,
just do it
for
here.
people that are listening, for those that may not know who you are, what is the style of music that you would say that you like to
Funny enough, I always get asked that question, and since the beginning of my career, I've always said I'm like world music. That's the best way I could describe it, because it's like tomorrow you're gonna get a reggaeton track from me.
Yes.
Then next week you're gonna get an Afro type of vibe, right? Or you're gonna have reggae. I haven't done a bachata in years, but
that would get my attention. Right
yeah,
away.
He loves bachata.
Oh, I did a bachata years.
He did a
years ago.
bachata, and I thought it was Romeo Santos.
Oh,
no
come on
joke.
now.
Well, he's the one that introduced me to what were they called again? Adventura.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know you're a bachata fan.
He loves it.
It's
It
not only
melts-
about
it
it's
melts him,
it's
huh?
to me it's the dancing. It's the whole dancing.
He
It's
likes
just like
the hip movements.
Yeah.
it's something about it just very.
One of my
You know what?
dreams is actually to learn how to play the bachata guitar.
Really?
I think that's the
It's beautiful.
sexiest.
So what's
instrument.
sexier, bachata or kizomba? Because kizomba's pretty
no,
sexy.
No, bachata's sexier, bro.
Lady?
Yeah, yeah.
Bachata.
Bachateame, mamá. You know?
Yeah. So I'd like to maybe.
Would you like a bachata lesson? Dancing?
listen,
Alex, do you
yeah,
mind?
I'd like
We'd
to-
like to be spontaneous in the show. Are you okay?
I'm good.
I mean, you're going to stand outside the camera, but we just need to see your hips.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
that's
I'm
it,
good. I'm
that's
good. I'm
it.
good.
1, 2, 3, hop.
Yeah.
Exactly. 1, 2, 3, hop.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, hop.
So what is for you right now, like when the hustle to kind of get where you at? A part of the journey was that you kind of like, not that you didn't take it seriously, but you just thought, you know what, let me just be to kind of get into it, right?
Yeah.
So where do you where's your moves right now? Everyone obviously there's no end game. You just got to keep on going and keep on going.
Yeah.
Where do you like to see yourself continue going in the path?
Oh, right now at this point, well, my whole goal from the beginning when everything started happening was
Yes.
for me, I'm like mogul status. That's what I'm going for.
Yeah.
I'm going to use this as a vehicle to actually establish the business that I feel that, will generate some passive income so I can just enjoy life and actually establish a legacy.
Right.
So that's the path that I'm going now. I'm trying to put other people on, other artists that are emerging that I feel have the talent and that just need the guidance. That's my next move. You know what I mean? Like establishing that.
So what do they need? What are you looking for? Because you know the terrain.
Yeah.
What are you looking for?
Honestly, it's funny because I always say there's two type of artists. There's people that have 100% heart, and then there's the artists that have 100% talent. None of those are gonna make it. You have to be a bit of both. You have to be a bit of both, right?
That's good. Can you say that again? Because I think we have a 6 camera angle coming in. Is that you? No? Oh, okay. Go on. That's amazing.
Yeah, because the thing is, I've met people that are extremely, extremely talented, but they do not put in the work.
Yeah.
And then I know people that have zero talent and they put in the work. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But when it's a mix of both, then that's when the magic happens, right? So that's what I look for, and especially nowadays, if I'm being 100% honest, bro, I can put you in with someone like Mehdi, and
you're a banger.
You're a bang.
Whether
It doesn't matter if you can hit vocal cords or not. Let me melodyne you and auto-tune the crap out of you, and you got a hit.
You make it happen.
And
You know
Mehdi
what I mean?
specifically will make you sound amazing.
Exactly.
See, that's the thing that always blows my mind is that, as you said, to have raw, genuine talent, right? And then have someone like a guy like Mehdi to kind of help you get there. But what's crazy is that there's a lot of singers out there. Like, for example, I'm just going to throw a name out right now, Britney Spears, okay? So Britney Spears has created this massive career, but she does a lot of lip sync in her concerts.
Yeah.
Because when she actually sings, she just cannot sing.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to say this, but she just can't. I mean, Gil's a
Damn,
big
bro.
fan of that.
She
but
does
I'm
a
just trying
good
to say,
happy birthday.
so-
She does
so-
a good happy birthday.
So yeah, with that high pitched voice. But the bottom line is that's the thing that's crazy is that it's kind of like what they say when someone can do a really bad drywall job, but the plaster guy that can come in can make anything look good. That's the key about
I
working
like
with a
that,
proper team. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So
yeah.
that's amazing.
It is a teamwork because nowadays, literally the music scene is a factory. I could tell you right now, it doesn't matter. We can walk on the street and we can find just a regular Joe, and you put Mehdi as a producer and you put me as a songwriter, we'll make you a star.
So let's do it right now. Let's go right now.
Test it.
Let's test it right now.
Well,
Constantine,
Yes.
There you go,
jump
bro.
in the booth.
But it's
Give him a melody. Give him a melody.
But it's down to a science right now. That's what
Yeah.
you mean. That,
Yeah,
the-
exactly.
The system is so refined and the
Yeah.
technology is so crazy.
The biggest example is right now in the Colombian market. You can see the music in the Colombian market. Funny enough, when we were in Colombia, nowadays,
Oh, hold on. You guys actually went to Colombia.
Bro, we shared a bed in Colombia, bro.
Okay.
we shared underwear. No, we didn't. So, in Colombia right now, what's popping is these record labels, they don't care if you can sing or not. How many followers do you have?
That's right.
Do you have this? Okay, cool. Let me put you in with my top producer and my top songwriter because we know you have a loyal fan base that's gonna buy your product. That's all we need.
Listen,
Wow.
the singing
But doesn't that
aspect,
piss you off as an artist?
Of course.
You know what I mean?
the
but-
singing
but
aspect
you
is,
can-
is secondary.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but at the
It's
same
all
time,
there.
you gotta either you
But
take
as the put on your mogul hat, though.
exactly. You can
Put on the business
either
hat.
you can either like stay butthurt or you can adapt and be like, okay, let me go find somebody. that has it.
Exactly.
Let's look at the markets right now. So we have the Canadian market, and then obviously we're going to talk about the market in Colombia, but also like let's say the U.S. market.
Yeah.
Where would you think would be your best share of market followers? Like, where are they coming from?
Me personally,
Yeah.
like Alx Veliz, me,
Yes.
my, I would say, funny enough, Spain. My track went platinum in Spain.
Okay.
So I would say like maybe the top 3 countries that have always supported me has been Spain, Colombia, and Canada.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The States not as much.
Right.
The States they did, like I toured in the States, but when you compare the numbers, it's Spain, Colombia, and Canada.
So
for
it's
sure.
part of your it's part of your angle to maybe like try to cater to a market because look, we were talking about this yesterday. David Hasselhoff built his entire career at the beginning with a mass following in Germany. He was their god, okay?
Yeah.
Where that wasn't the case outside of that. Now, to me, like when I look at that, I'm like, that's smart. It doesn't matter where your market is. If you can cater to a market, you can make somewhere in the world.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Have you ever thought about maybe like
Funny enough, they've been telling me to go to Germany and do that over there. They're
Really?
like, oh, you gotta do Germany. You gotta do Germany.
Yeah, I heard that if you get Germany, you get Europe.
Yeah, exactly.
Wasn't Pill setting something over there?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, look at
Pills.
these DJs,
Yeah, yeah.
man. These house DJs and stuff,
Yeah.
like Dead Mouse and all that. A lot of them
Yeah.
got a mass
Yeah.
following in those areas.
And that's the thing. Like for example, let's go back to Colombia. If you make a hit in Colombia as a Colombian, you can tour the rest of your life in Colombia, and you're good.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So it really, unfortunately, Canada's the only place that doesn't work that way, that I know of.
Like we're backwards.
Yeah, we're backwards. Like I've always said that. Me personally, I feel that Canada, Toronto specifically, is the hardest market to break.
Wow.
In the world.
Why?
Because everybody thinks they can do what you do. So what happens is all of a sudden, why am I going to support this person? Oh, I could do what he does.
I see.
And that's the sad reality that we have here.
Okay.
There is a lack of respect and there's a heightness of pride between artists and just the population as a whole.
So everybody thinks like
Everybody
They're
thinks
it.
they can make it.
Yes.
Everybody thinks they have it,
And
and
it's
everybody
easy.
and it's easy. So then the lack of support within here is crazy.
you
Why do you
Canadians disgust me. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Make me
Why do you
sick.
think? And the thing is, there's the proof.
Yes.
Right. You have the Shawn Mendes, Alessia Caras, Jesse
Mm.
Reyes, Drake, Justin Bieber, The Weeknd. The list
Dion.
the list goes on. Celine Dion. The list goes on.
Yes.
Right. None of them made it in Canada first. They had to make it in the States and in Europe first, and then they got the respect here.
Yeah, it's true.
Wow. Just the guy that was here before you. Nina
Actually, you
is-
know what? I take that back because The Weeknd was the first one that actually got the respect here before.
Yes.
The Weeknd is the first artist that
But generally, it's
But
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what's right? Look, I remember when Drake first came out musically.
Yeah.
I remember my wife telling me at that time, she's like, yeah, you gotta hear it. Like, please, man, this guy's Canadian. I didn't want to listen to this guy.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was literally.
so you are the stereotype.
No, 100%. Yeah, 100%, right? So, like,
We know that.
yeah, I think the mentality is completely
Yeah.
twisted. You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Because then it's like, what does it take for someone to kind of get the respect? And
Yeah.
if that is what your own country is doing, like your own
So,
family, then
Yeah.
Seeing that you suffered from that because you are maybe the poster boy of that thinking.
Yes.
Why? Why did you think that?
I have no idea, but I think it's just
It's our culture. It's who we are.
I think we grow up to be like we just can't really produce something great. Like
Cardi
the
said
US.
it. We're
Yeah.
we're screw face capital of the
Yeah.
world.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Perfect example. Cardi is, bro.
He is
Cardi
just
so
is
talented. Man.
Exactly.
and
Yeah.
he
But
is
why?
He's
Like
the
his
Godfather.
reggae-
No,
Guy
no,
can
not saying
drop
why.
reggae and-
But where is he? I'm just saying,
Yeah.
like he.
And it's because of that. Like it's unfortunately the lack of support here. Because if you look at Cardi's success, most of his success comes from outside of Canada. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He had to go make collabs with Akon and you know the caliber of artists outside of here instead of actually doing it here because there's a lack of support here.
Yeah, yeah. It's so
you know,
true,
but that's what
man.
I'm saying. If you can make it in the Canadian market, you can go anywhere else and make it.
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
So that's the challenge.
So
here.
what needs to change then? What would need to change for that to happen, in your opinion? If my mind was that years ago, and the people are like that right now, what do they need to do?
There's so many. It's such a. There's so many levels to that because it's realistically it's a restructure of the whole music industry as a whole. First of all, the Canadian record label system here doesn't invest in their own artists, so that's why. For example, I can go to the States and I can sign with the record label over there and I'll be like, I need a budget of $100,000 to promote this song. No questions asked. Here it is. You ask for that here, they're gonna be like, here's $2,000. You know what I mean?
Wow.
To promo.
Exactly. And the thing, and this is the sad part. Canada has what the U.S. doesn't have, which we have a grant system.
Okay.
We get free money from the government.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But these big corporations are taking it on behalf of the artists. So that's the sad part.
Are you kidding?
I'm dropping gems right now,
know
bro.
what you know, Mike.
Hopefully there's no red dots over here because
Listen,
Yeah,
I'll
it's
tell you this
They're
right
gonna
now.
try and take him out.
When you're talking about the music industry and how we are, this is actually the sporting industry as well.
Yeah.
Like, how many times have you heard in basketball, for example? People
Yeah.
get scouted.
You
or
gotta go
you're
over there.
Going to the University of Toronto for a basketball scholarship. What are you gonna do? You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like,
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
sad.
Yo, this guy, like, the facts is, Dancing Kizomba broke not because of Universal.
Yeah.
It was done through a back door, but he was already signed to Universal.
Right. So Universal.
He had
reaped.
he had the deal.
Yeah.
He had the deal, and nothing. Backdoor movements happened that
Yes.
had nothing to do with Universal.
Right.
It blew, and then it's like, oh, wow, okay, and then
Yeah,
Now I
let's
wanna
promo
be-
the
now I
song.
wanna be your friend.
And then
No,
and then for real, and
and-
then they promoted the song.
and
But
the-
prior to
yeah.
that, they weren't promoting the song.
No, and the sad part is, for example, let's just use that. I think I'm the perfect poster boy in this situation when you say what needs to change in the
Yes.
industry.
And the back door happened in the States, New York.
We got two poster boys right now.
I know exactly. Yeah. So, Dancing Kizomba blows up. It's one of the first tracks on Spotify and crossover tracks. Right, this was before Despacito and everything. It was one of the first crossover tracks to the point that Spotify in the States started using me as their
case
poster
study.
child, as their case study. They
Yeah.
would go to record labels and be like, "This is what we can do. We can break artists." Right? I come back here with that success, and I'm like, "Guys, what's the next move? We have no idea what to do with you. We don't know if you're a Spanish artist or an English artist. We don't know how to promote you."
Wow.
And I'm like, "This is the wave. This is where the music is going." You know what I mean?
Yes.
They had no idea what to do with me, to the point where it was like I was basically shelved because every time I would try to take something out that was like that was very crossover fusion, they'll be like, "No, you need to go pop. You need to do this." And then, I was forced to drop certain records. I don't want to say forced. I was
Advised.
like drop these records.
Yeah.
But I kept saying, I'm like, no, guys, these people love this type of music that I'm dropping. This is the fan base. How are we gonna go Justin Bieber when people are expecting a Daddy Yankee? You know what I mean?
Yes.
To me,
Like-
it means a lack of vision. There's no vision. You just know the system. You learn the system. You're a keeper of the system. You can't fit in the box, so we
Yeah.
put you on the shelf. 'Cause we don't know
In
what
a
to do.
nutshell, the Canadian music scene is very reactive
Yes.
compared to the American scene that is proactive.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's where we're lacking. So then all of a sudden you have I go and I'm like, guys, this is the success. There is no Canadian artist signed to a Canadian label that had the success I did with Dancing Kizomba at that moment. None. And you don't know what to do with me? This doesn't make any sense.
Or if hey, let's just take a risk.
Let's take a exactly.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden, I'm shelved, whatever. Fast forward a few months, Despacito drops. Then Sorry drops. Now you're seeing that this whole movement of fusion is happening within the Latin world.
Right.
And I look at it and I'm like, we were the first to do it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Look,
Oh,
man,
man.
I'll tell you this: like, the foresight of having good vision seems to be something that's lacking massively.
Yeah.
So, just what I want to do right now is I want to focus on specifically bringing back the attention for those that are listening. What you're doing now? There's a new song. There's a new song right now.
Big
Yeah.
So tell us about the song. What brought you there? And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna actually see the masterpiece come into light.
Oh, okay, let's do it.
And then what we're gonna do from there is we're gonna hopefully not Canadian because you just can't see the light. We're gonna have somebody from the U.S. pick this and go to the next level. Go for it, bro. Tell us about that song.
I have a new song that came out today. It's called Alexandra.
Okay.
And the song, funny enough, I wrote it as a dedication to my wife and to women out there, because we struggled with pregnancy and fertility for about 3 years, right? Like two and a half to 3 years. And I saw like how deep that struggle goes for women. For men, yeah, we struggle with it, but for women, it goes really deep. And funny enough, like in the song, one of the lines I say is like, I'm gonna give you a baby, you know? And it was kind of like a promise within the song. And, you know, that's one of the good things that happened with the whole coronavirus thing and everything, because, you know, we got pregnant during that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's right.
And so I finished the song during that process. And the video, I recorded it, like our whole pregnancy process is in the video. Nobody knew we were expecting. Nobody knew until, like, you know, a few people knew. But other than that, like, I didn't put it out in the general public until Jax was born, you know. And that's what the song's about. Alexandra is just about like our journey, and it's literally like a dedication to my wife and like I said, to women out there.
Amazing,
just
man.
Understanding and just letting them know, like, hey, I see what you guys, you know, go through and stuff like that.
Yeah, amazing.
And it is world music.
It is world music. Yeah,
You hear it, like, if that song gets played anywhere in the world, you'll just start to dance.
Well, look, man, I'm looking forward to listening to this. And let's make a baby.
All right, bro.
Whoa.
We need some bachata first, bro.
hey. All right, man, let's do it up. Let's do it up.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, man.
Cool. We'll set it up right now.
All right, let's do it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Lounging in the Six. Ooh, come on now. I go by the name of Alx Veliz, a.k.a. El Rapero Color Caramelo, a.k.a. Tan Caliente que Derrite el Hielo, a.k.a. Tú Sabes. Ah, there you go. Goes down, 3, dale. Baby, you are my baby, my baby, my baby. I'm Barack, you Michelle, babe, my baby, my baby. I don't want to waste no more time, more time, more time. Me, I forgive you, a baby, a baby, a baby. I've been waiting for my whole life, for one moment, for just one, to have you here by my side. Yeah, oh na na na, I don't play. Oh na na na, it's you only. Oh na na na, you got me. Oh na na na, Alexandra. What I gonna do to get closer to you, girl? Alexandra. What I gonna do to get closer to you, girl? Yeah. Cause when you're moving your waist like that, me if I give it to you right back. If you keep doing me like that, me if I give it to you right back. Yeah. Y seguimos, no paramos. Aquí estamos.
Let's go, keep going.
Presente en la casa, aquí llegamos. Llegó el futuro. Tú sabes que siempre metemos duro. En el piano y en la conga. Tú sabes, aquí nos metemos la ronda. Y estamos aquí haciendo lo que nos gusta, lo que nos ama. Para la gente dominicana, la gente de Cuba, republicana. Tú sabes, los latinos presentes en la casa. Yeah. What I gonna do to get closer to you, girl? Y Alexandra. What I gonna do to get closer to you, girl? Yeah.
Nice.
A little vibe.
Yeah, I like the little freestyle. Okay, sweet.
Was that good? Yo, you were supposed to come flutter around.
Make sure to drop by next week.
Let's go.
And don't forget to subscribe.
Let's go!
It's time to give a shout out to our sponsors. This podcast is brought to you by Sentinel Security Plus. For all your premium security needs, visit sentinelsecurityplus.com.